I knew that they were afraid of Trump, and I get it. You know, he's a complex guy, but the things they're pulling out just changing everything. Here's an article from Just the News. Biden's White House facilitated DOJ's criminal probe against Trump scuttled privilege claims. Basically, they waived the presidential privilege, Trump's presidential privilege, which is a that's a really scary thought. I don't know that I fully agree with privilege because I think it opens up so much that they can get away with. Like, George Bush was a prime example. I think he did a lot of things with drug running and Iran Contra and the rest of it, and between plausible deniability and executive privilege, got away with all of it. Look, he passed away and nothing ever happened to him. But in this case, for one president to go and raid another's home and to waive his executive privilege is mind-boggling. That's banana republic. I mean, that's pretty much the definition. You can just go ahead and persecute your political enemies. And, if you look at Trump since 2015, they've done everything they can possibly do. And I'm no Trump supporter. I don't even vote. So I've never voted. And I'm not a Republican. I'm not registered, nothing. And I'm no guy that runs around going Trump, Trump, Trump. But what I do know is that my entire life I have been looking into all these types of things. Since I was a little kid, I started with the Russian Revolution. And I can tell you that I don't really know of anyone that I've looked so deeply in, and I don't know of anything Trump's ever done other than he received a loan from NM Rothschild, which makes me very suspicious. But maybe maybe they set it up so they were the only ones that would give him a loan so that they could make him bring Wilbur Ross into his cabinet. It could be as simple as that, which means there's probably a lot there. But I've never been able to find it. I've spent some time. I can't say that I've done it 24/7, but I spent some time. I mean, you name a president, you can find all kinds of stuff, and I just can't find much with him. Even the mafia. I've studied the mafia for years. My family was connected to it. The only thing you can find on him in the mafia is that they wanted to get close to him because he was a builder. Of course he has to use them in some way. They could never get close to him. His companies obviously were paying, mafia families, but not straightforward. They put a tax on it. He probably never knew that. I mean, in the back of his mind, he probably knew it, but he couldn't prove it. But Sammy the Bull Gravano, Michael Francis, many other people have said that they could never get close to him. He would never do that. When you go into Jeffrey Epstein, he barred Epstein's procurer. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. Not Ghislaine Maxwell, the one underneath her. If you just type it in, Google it, you could find it. He kicked her off the property, kept all those people away. He was with Epstein the very beginning, same as everybody else. Epstein was obviously an asset of nobody knows, either the CIA or maybe the Mossad or someone else, but he clearly was blackmailing people. But he was getting access to every major person. That's why they won't let the list go. They won't publicize that list. They'll never publicize that list, not on purpose. And obviously, Epstein, fell off a bed with something around his neck, cameras failed, you get it. A lot of people overlook the things, but there are certain things I mean, come on. The guards were asleep. The video accidentally got erased. I mean, it's just a broken clock is right twice a day. Come on, In this case, back to this, they can't find anything dirty. In my opinion, they can't find anything dirty, just like I can't on Trump. Other than he's he's not the nicest guy in the world. He's not the best representation, maybe as a president or whatever. But you know what? When we started having presidents, it didn't say, what's your personality type? It said, you're a citizen, these different small amounts of rules, okay, you can run. And that's the case here. You might not like him, but that doesn't mean that he did something wrong. And unless you want to change all the laws, which if you want to, fine. That's what amendments to the Constitution are for. That's what laws are for. They can be changed. But to make all this stuff up and then raid the guy's home, my personal opinion, probably no reason other than they want him out of the picture.